Welcome back, friends. I'm so glad you're here listening. This week's episode is a topic that is near and dear to my heart, which is debunking some of the myths that I think most women have when it comes to using mindfulness as a stress management practice or trying to support your endeavor to be more present and able to focus and bring your full attention into the present moment when you're spending time with your kiddos or doing something for yourself that's really important to you, but you notice that you've got quite a noisy and busy mind and you keep getting pulled out of it. I wanted to teach on this topic after I listened to a little blurb that one of my personal heroes and mentors, Dr. Stacy Sims, said about the top 2 things that she recommends midlife women focus on first. And if you're familiar with Stacy Sims' work, you're probably thinking about muscle and resistance training, but she actually points to 2 other areas as critical for women's health, and to get these 2 things nailed down first and then move on to all the other things that are going to give you vibrant health in midlife. And she speaks to improving and protecting your quality of sleep as the first thing. And then guess what she says the second thing is? She says to develop a mindfulness practice and spend time every day getting mindful, is what she said. And as a mental health provider, I love that these are the 2 things that she's calling out. She's calling them out because they help to influence a parasympathetic nervous system response. And this is because during perimenopause, women are experiencing a lot of nervous system stress due to hormonal changes and our pace of modern life, and especially modern parenting. We can become very easily more sympathetically driven in our nervous system, making it really difficult to drop into deeper rest and restore and repair places from a nervous system perspective. And chronic stress doesn't just affect our mood and our energy, it really influences our hormones and our recovery and our sleep, and even in our performance, whether we're thinking about mental or physical performance. And I know that most of us, especially professional women, are wanting to be able to improve our ability to deliver and show up to the things that we care about. So sleep and mindfulness might be maybe the least glamorous things to focus on, but they really are fundamental and foundational to not just our physical health, though definitely midlife physical health is benefits significantly from these things, but also, I will argue, even more importantly, our mental health. Our mental health suffers, of course, when we're not sleeping, but let's look at the mindfulness stress management part of it. Our mental health suffers when we aren't able to take a break out of the momentum of the daily demands in our day. And when we are outward focused and oriented for too long, and we start kind of living in our brains and not getting that essential exercise and practice of being able to be mindful. And the definition of mindfulness that I like is being able to pay attention on purpose to the present moment and without judgment. Another way to think about it is being able to open up to the here and now. Notice when your mind is creating a story about the here and now or is pulling you into distraction out of the present moment, and being able to leave the story and leave the distraction and be able to focus again on what is right here, right now. Most moms I know wake up and immediately we're thinking about everything we need to do to get ready, everything that we need to do to get our kiddos ready for the day, everything that the day holds and being prepared for what the day holds. And then also thinking about any other thing that's coming up that you don't want to forget to attend to. And that kind of noisy, forward or outward oriented brain orientation is really normal. But we want to, for optimal health, be able to have periods of time in our day where we are not outward or future oriented, where we're able to focus just on what's here right now. One, to improve our mental health. Two, to improve our sense of fulfillment and joy in our day-to-day life. And three, to be able to be present and connected with those meaningful moments, either with ourselves or with our kids that matter to us most. So having a daily mindfulness practice that helps you to practice learning what's here right now in your inner world, or making contact with your life and the world around you, and practicing getting your attention in your mind to come over and over again to simply right here, right now, is an important practice, and it is a skill that you can build. So when I talk to women on a daily basis and they're like, Kara, what can I do to reduce my stress? And I want to have a mindfulness practice. But every time I go to sit down and take some quiet breaths, or I'm sitting down to journal, or I'm putting on an app and it's guiding me through a mindfulness practice, or I'm just sitting down with a cup of tea and I'm trying to walk around my yard and take a few deep breaths, and immediately my mind gets super noisy and distracting. So maybe I'm not cut out for a mindfulness practice. I hear that, or a version of that, over and over again every day. And my message to you is that your noisy mind is the entry point to your mindfulness practice, not something that will hinder you from having one. And the reframe is to say, my noisy brain is something that my mind has kind of been trained to do over and over and over again. I reward that type of attention. My mind reminds me to do something, I write it down, or I go and do it. And your brain is really trying to be, and maybe is being helpful, reminding you of all the things that are still undone or that need to be done. But the thing is, friend, that it's not a good life to always be living in the future, or always being tied to your to-do list and living as if you're going to feel fulfilled if you're productive, versus you could be fulfilled by making contact and being available for really precious and meaningful moments in your life. The reframe is not fighting with your mind, but it's learning that, of course, it's going to do that thing that it's trained and oriented to do, going out, out, out all the time. And I'm gently training my brain to be able to attend and focus and do something new, to be able to make contact with the present moment over and over and over again without judgment, and start to practice this separation between your mind and you. There is a you, there is a woman here, and there is a mind. There is a present moment and everything available to me right here, right now. And there is everything my mind is trying to remind me of, or stories my mind is trying to tell me about what's happening in the present moment. And being able to enter into practices that help you to relate to your mind with more skill is one of the best things. Like, it's actually a core midlife mental health skill that I want every woman to be able to practice. So I have two really important helpers for you as you move toward and try to approach bringing more mindfulness into your life. Whether you're trying to sit down for kind of a dedicated period of time for a mindfulness practice, or whether you're trying to be more present in your evenings or during your breaks at work, either for yourself or for the loved ones or the things that you're wanting to do with your time. So the first helper is a reminder that mindfulness is a skill and not a state. I think that most women think that mindfulness is like a state of being, like it's achieving a quiet, calm, and peaceful moment. And when you don't feel that way, especially at the beginning of a mindful moment or a mindfulness practice, it's usually the reason why most women give up on it. And really, a mindfulness practice is learning how to relate to your mind with more skill. Learning how to not let it pull you out of something you're trying to attend to. Learning how to notice the first, or really tugging and pulling and pushing around stories your mind tells you, and being able to take a look at those stories versus looking at yourself and your life all up in those stories. Mindfulness is the ability to notice what's happening in your inner world, like your thoughts and your sensations and your feelings, without being swept away by it, without being controlled or defined by it. So the goal is not necessarily silence, it's presence alongside whatever you're noticing your inner world is handing over to you in any given moment. So the skill is being able to notice and observe, and then bring our attention back to a focal point of our choosing, whatever helps us to get present. So your focal point could be your breath. Your focal point could be walking around your yard and looking at your garden. Your focal point could be an inner inquiry, just asking yourself questions like, how am I doing and how am I feeling? Or your focal point could be a guided meditation practice. You're choosing a focal point that will help your mind to come into contact with the you that is here in the present moment. And you're practicing bringing your attention there over and over and over again for a short period of time. If you took even 3 minutes to be mindful most days, it would probably make a difference in your stress level, in that parasympathetic response, and that mind-body connection, and in your sense of being connected to yourself and to your life on a deeper level, and being more relationally oriented so that you're able to be connected to a deeper self, and you can bring that deeper self to whatever it is you're doing in the present moment that you want to be your best self for. So the first helper and review, remember, mindfulness is a skill to practice, and it's not a state of mind. You might not always feel calm as a result. The calm and the fulfillment and the joy and the peacefulness comes later when you've kind of oriented yourself to being a human and not just a mind walking around everywhere. The second helper is what I like to call a 3-breath approach. And it's kind of like an entry ritual or an entry point into trying to be in the present moment. So it's something that you can do. It'll just take like 60 seconds or so before you start a formal mindfulness practice, whatever that looks like for you, or when you're trying to transition from work into something that feels meaningful and you want to really be there for your family or for your friends or whatever it is that you're trying to do. Or it's something that I will do as I'm trying to be present to getting ready for bedtime with my kiddo. Historically, it's easier actually now that he's older, but historically, bedtime has been a time where I have been less patient. I have had less energy. I have been more easily reactive and frustrated as a human. So I like to bring this 3-breath approach to that period of time because I really want to be present for it. It's like one of the few hours of my day that I'm actually with my kid when it's my time to put him to bed. So it's been an important time for me to bring this mindfulness skill where I'm able to pay attention to the present moment and without judgment and do my best with what's there with his mood and my mood that day. So the 3-breath approach is the first breath, taking a deep breath in. And the reason why I link this to the breath is that it can be easier for our minds to get out of whatever they're doing and into the present moment if we do something that is embodied, that uses our physical body as an anchor. It's also helpful when it's a ritual that we repeat over and over and over again. So I hope you'll try out this 3-breath approach ritual. And if it works for you, the more you repeat it, the more smooth and quickly your mind will kind of drop in to the present moment and be available to either be present in what you're doing or to be available to practice your mindfulness skill. So you're taking a deep breath in with that first breath, and you're just saying hello to whatever is here. So a deep breath in, and you just say in your mind, hello to here. What's here? And you just notice what's here. You notice thoughts, you notice what you're doing, you notice how you're feeling, and you're trying not to focus on the information your brain gives you. You're just taking a moment to say, what's here and hello. You're greeting yourself and you're greeting your life and you're greeting the present moment with the first breath. And then you take a second breath. Deep breath in, and what you're doing with the second breath is that you're encouraging presence. You're encouraging that journey from whatever your mind wants you to think about into this moment. And the way that I help myself do that with that second breath is as I'm inhaling and exhaling and encouraging presence, I'm giving my mind a job, which is to repeat right here, right now, only this. Kind of over and over and over again. Like, Kara, be right here, be right now, focus on only this. If you've opted in to get that free Vibrant Mom toolkit that you can access through my website, you'll be given 3 different kind of stress management Vibrant Mom tools that are guided audio practices. And many of them start with, this is the only thing to do. Bring your attention right here, right now. I think we need those reminders as women and busy moms. We need to give our brain that help, that second breath help of brain, thank you for everything that you're doing all the time. Mind, thank you for everything you're bringing my attention to over and over again throughout the day. But mind, right here, this is it, right now. So not what was before or what's coming later, but right now. And right here, not like what's happening at work or what's happening at school or what's happening at daycare or what's happening in my relationships, but right here. And then only this, just a reminder to your brain, we're going to focus on one thing. We're anchoring in to this moment that I'm sharing or that I'm wanting to experience, or only this mindfulness practice that I'm choosing to do for the next 5 minutes, the next 1 minute, the next 10 minutes, whatever it is. Right here, right now, only this. And sometimes I'll let that second breath go to a few breaths, and I might repeat those words as like kind of an anchoring mantra of sorts, but just to remind my brain that I'm doing something on purpose and that I want to bring presence, either as a practice or as a way to be in touch with my life in a deeper, more meaningful way. And then the third breath, taking that deep breath in, it's meant to welcome in a chosen quality or characteristic that you think, or if I'm modeling this, that I think will help me to stay present, that I want to further embody or anchor into so that I can continue with my mindful moment, or I can continue with doing whatever I'm doing with a better quality of presence. So there could be any quality that you want to embody, but I'll give you a few, and I just repeat it over and over in my mind again, like open, open, open. I'm just asking myself, as soon as my brain gets distracted, I might say the word open, and I come right back to opening myself up to the moment. Or notice, notice, notice. Just giving my mind that ability once it's gotten distracted, and I'm strengthening it, bringing my attention again to the present moment. Notice. Notice the sun. Notice the sip of tea. Notice the texture of the leaves if I'm on a walk. Just notice. Or soften, soften, soften. I often find with a busy mind comes tension in your body trying to get into that sympathetic fight, flight, or be active nervous system state. And so we want to remind our body, soften, soften, soften. When we're cultivating the skill of mindfulness, it isn't a problem when we get distracted or when our mind pulls us out of the moment. It's to be expected. The work is to notice when that has occurred, and without judgment, bring your mind, just it's like a rep, it's like a bicep curl. The more you do it, the more you bring your mind back to the present moment, the stronger your mind gets, the healthier your mind gets, and the better ability you have to notice your mind and separate from the stories your mind are just feeding you up on a daily basis, and be able to relate to your mind with more skill and to ask your mind to attend in the way that you would like it to. So this 3 breaths, like kind of anchoring ritual can be the thing that like kind of helps your mind and supports your mind, especially at the beginning of a mindfulness practice. But anytime it leaves, you can repeat, hello to what's here right now. Welcome yourself and welcome in the moment. You can repeat right here, right now, only this. And you can repeat 3rd breath, deep breath in, open, 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 or soften, 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 or notice, notice, notice. Or any other word that kind of helps you to feel like you're really attending to yourself and into the moment, and you're choosing a quality of attention and presence that works for you. So just a gentle reminder, your mind being noisy or busy doesn't mean your practice isn't working or that you're not capable of cultivating a strong mindfulness practice. It just means that you're a human and you've got a human brain, and you're on the journey of helping your mind be healthier, which means you're able to pay attention to the present moment and notice how life is unfolding. Notice how your mind and your emotions are unfolding with observation and curiosity and without judgment. And you're able to bring this quality of mindfulness woven into your life so that you can take breaks from the momentum of your day. As I always like to say in the Vibrant Mom world, we eddy out of the current of our lives so that we can pause, get some mindfulness going, and then be able to choose with flexibility and with care and with intention how we want to re-enter the current of our lives and the current of the flow of our thoughts. So it might be unlikely that your brain achieves a sense of quiet, but the skill that changes everything is being able to weave in chosen periods of time where you're practicing the skill of mindfulness. And when you're trying to get to a chapter of your day where you really want to be able to leave the things that preoccupy your mind so that you can attend to your life and experience the beauty of your life as it's unfolding. That skill of practicing mindfulness will change everything, and it will make that not so quiet mind less pushy and less controlling. If you try out that 3 breath approach to any mindful moment you're wanting to show up to, let me know how it goes, and let me know what, especially those chosen quality words, really work for you. I always like adding to my own toolkit, and I learn just as much from the other women that I mentor and speak with as I try to offer to you. And as always, if you've made it all the way to the end of this podcast episode, thank you so much for your time and your attention. And I can't wait to reconnect with you and continue our ongoing podcast conversation next week.